So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's case presentation. Following the previous work that I was doing in terms of presenting cases to small group, this is one more initiative where I'm presenting cases for the purpose of getting educated and for us to look at different perspectives for upcoming counselors and people who want to work in this field. And this time, I'm also giving you some exclusive orientation of how expressive arts can be used in counseling in the process of therapy, because some people had asked me when I presented my previous presentations, case presentations, how do you use exclusively expressive arts alone? With that, how will you help a client? So what I've done is I've just included some sample work of my client, one of my client, so that from the beginning period of our work till the time when we terminated the case, what were the different things that we tried to explore, what was my takeaway from my client, what was my client's takeaway from whatever work they did, from where did we begin and from where we ended, how long did this happen, and the session duration and other kind of things. And as I keep telling you that we are going to keep certain things in mind, especially me being the presenter. I'm holding on in my mind that no way I give up on the confidentiality of that case, and no ongoing cases will be presented for discussion. Cases which happened in the past, either I've worked in a lot of places in this 15 years of my work experience. I've worked in a lot of institutions, including NGOs, schools, colleges, corporates, special school, and in private clinics. And I've also like assisted doctors, and I worked in a hospital for quite a long period of time. So with that experience, and now that I'm running my own clinic full time, though I began that in 2014. So I wouldn't specifically mention anything about anyone's personal information. There'll be a name change and minute alterations. So this is a small introduction about me, which I've put in this slide. Further, in case if you want to know more information about me or the kind of work that I do, or in the presentation, if you have any doubts, you can feel free to ask towards the end, or you can WhatsApp me in person. This is a small orientation into how we generally use expressive arts therapy. You can either call it expressive arts therapy or creative arts therapy. Why? Because each of us are believed to be born with the innate talent, a creative skill, and it varies from individual to individual. For example, Swati Priya can be more inclined towards music, singing, or playing an instrument, and very good at literacy, such things. But when we look at some other person in the group, their interest could be different. Maybe they're more skilled at making models, or they're very good at dancing, and they're more kinesthetic. They use their they want to like move their bodies along. They cannot sit in one place. They want to use more space. They want to move around. They like to travel. So people have different skills. Some people can very very easily ride or drive. which is not uh, possible for everybody to learn it that quickly and do it that without even any coaching for that. I have gone to driving class and other things, but I know a few of my friends who have not gone for such classes, but still they can do a wonderful job in riding, driving, unlike me. So that way, I feel though we learn, though we got the exposure to certain things, by birth we have some innate qualities, and those innate skills, those innate creative skills in whatever we have interest towards. Here we are using the client centered therapy. Client centered therapy means whatever is suitable and best working for the client, we use it for them. Even modality wise, also, though there are so many modalities as given in this particular slide. For example, for me to express my emotions, so in expressive arts therapy, the main concept is we use emotions for healing. And just as an introduction, like when I've done this orientation for expressive arts, I've given an orientation. I will share that video link with you about how it was introduced, which year, and how it came into existence in India, such things. I'll share that with you. Other than that, today, I just want you to know these basic concepts which I'm going to orient you to before we get into details about the case. So, visual arts is a way in which I can express myself. I can draw, I can shade, I can do some scribbling, I can do shading, I can do painting, I can also do art and craft, I can do some sculpting. Given a clay, I can make clay models. When we worked on this particular modality during my course, they gave us this natural, this soil from which we made models, clay models. So like that. And in a therapeutic setting, generally I carry these what they sell in the stationery shops, especially when it is children, students. So such things also, and even like making a collage work, cutting out old newspapers, magazines, making models out of it, all this comes under fine arts. So it is not that we are doing something no it is not something, definitely not something waste of time, because when a person does this, there is a lot of work that happens in connection with the emotion, and emotions are connected to the thoughts, and thoughts are connected to the behavior. That is what we do in counseling. For any counseling process to be a progress, we check on any changes in the behavior of that individual, or the thought process of the individual, or the emotions of the individual. So that way, if there can be a progress seen and felt by that individual or people around them, then definitely that is working and we are on the right track. And then dance movement, again, as I told you, for people who like to move their bodies, who like to like explore more, and that is the modality of comfort, we give them the space to move around. We actually call it dance movement therapy, but the other name can be body movement therapy, because there is no need of any exclusive prior experience in dance or prior experience even in arts. No, we are not interested to see how beautifully my client is able to draw. It is only I want my client to explore his or her emotion. Similarly, I want my client to feel that connection with the body and mind when I'm wanting my client to do a body movement therapy. Again, drama therapy can include role play. So maybe I am in the sense maybe an individual, some X or Y, can maybe is a very kind of aggressive wife, plays the role of an aggressive wife, and uh, that way for them we ask them to demonstrate how they reacted in a situation using the chart technique, and then we make that individual to sit in the place of the husband and watch the same scenario, which can be enacted by the facilitator of that drama, because it's a kind of play, na? So again, sitting in the place of the children, some people will burst out into tears, like when we play such roles, now when it comes to sensitive aspects like their children or their parents witnessing the behavior which they exhibited outside, which we are trying to facilitate in a within four walls. That is the breakdown point, like where they come up with more things, they feel that realization that something is not right, a change in behavior. This is just an example, just a small technique. Similarly, like there can be different ways depending upon what the cases that we work on. Music therapy, music itself is a kind of soothing to improve the mood depending on how the person is actually feeling, and care is taken to not may cause any discomfort to the client by the modality which they are not much inclined towards, depending upon that particular session, their mood in that particular session, how they are reacting to it and how they are responding to us. Writing therapy, people, some people are really linguistic, they can write poetry. One of my client, when she was in a very low state in life, she used to almost write every day. I used to ask her to send the poetry to me, and I used to see it. Whenever I see it, I will respond. So that way, it was an encouragement for her also to express whatever grief she was going through. Exploring thoughts and emotions through writing journals, fictions. Okay, storytelling is like, sometimes, for example, to just explore your life journey. Can you narrate to me your life journey? Can be a question which I'm putting forward to my client, and my client goes to their story and speaks about certain aspects, and to give that assurance that whatever be the scenario, that it can be recreated. We are writing our life scripts, and how we recreate it, we're also helping them as a facilitator to cope with whatever difficulties they're going through, and choose what they want to, and be act as a support system and help them to distinguish between what will be the best choice for them when they're really stuck in decision making, problem solving, and the right kind of coping mechanisms in times of difficulty. Let us go into the case. So it is case of Ria, who's a 30-year-old female, 6 years of marriage, post 1 year love relationship. So it's this love relationship has been only for a year, and though Ria knew that the partner whom she chose had some bad habits, like drinking, and was not very serious about the career, was not doing well financially. um, no, she still wanted to stick on to the person. So Ria's parents were against the marriage, but she was very strong and adamant that she would only want that guy, and she got married. She went out of the house and she got married to the person against the will of her parents. So that guy's family supported, but then she faced lot of hardships and struggles post marriage. Though the guy's family accepted Ria, but then there were here. I think in our Indian system there is a strong distinction between caste. The caste system followed here. People of lower caste may so-called lower caste. They may accept people from upper caste, but people who consider themselves as upper caste or so-called upper caste will not take in people from so-called lower caste. So such thing still prevails in our system. So due to this, both families did not get along, and for her it was very difficult because customs are very different in our own culture. Even if someone is married to someone else in the same state, like say Tamil Nadu, they marry someone from a different city also, or from rural and urban they marry also. There are a lot of differences in the culture, lifestyle. So which where Ria's husband did not have a strong job to support his wife or family, and that was a very big drawback for Ria's survival. Ria's spouse was unemployed for a certain period of time. He wouldn't regularly go for work. It's not that he just happened to be like that post marriage, but he was like that. And he was alcoholic, and both Ria and her husband are highly qualified. After childbirth, though Ria was working prior marriage, she could not continue job because of childbirth consecutively. Like one child, then she had the next child, and she was not very conscious about what she was doing. That was very clear in her marriage decision itself. Um, and then she couldn't continue work, and husband had no interest to work, and that was the reason why he's unemployed. So, why she comes for counseling at a point where she experiences sleeplessness, fatigue, she feels hopeless, she feels helpless, doesn't know what to do in life, doesn't know what to do next in life because there is no money there. Now she's come to the mother's house, and she had an unhappy childhood, and that could be one of the reason why some people make bad choices or wrong choices which do not suit them when it comes to marriage, because they wanted some outlet, and if someone talks a little bit nice to them, maybe they are more inclined towards that person, because they want some escapism from whatever emotional pain or negligence that they're going through when they live in their families where the parents are not in good terms with each other. She had an unhappy childhood, the marital disharmony among her parents. Father had some paranoid traits, suspicion. So she was also always put under the lens when she was, from the time when she was in college. So that could also be a trigger for someone to. So generally in teenage, many children go against what parents want them to do. Even if sometimes when that is not put forward, maybe they don't take an agenda. I'm not talking about all children, but when children have some anger against parents, they tend to not listen to them. They tend to behave the way that the parent does not want them to behave. That happens in teenage mostly. That we've seen in when while working with many adolescents. So sometimes when there is a fixation where that needs were not fulfilled in that age, that is even carried forward in their young adulthood. Now, the current scenario is that the parents don't treat her well because already they opposed, and she did not listen, and now she's come back. And the husband too doesn't treat her well. If suppose if she gets back to her in-laws place, the husband is not going for work, and in turn she had a feeling that he is only using her for physical relationship and money. He wants her to go work, get money, and give him money. Okay, so let us look into what kind of work we did with this particular client using expressive arts. As you know, in the initial stage, establishing rapport, collecting history, all that was done. And prior that, after I got into a comfort zone with my client, and this case was some 7 years back. So I had to take the diary where I had taken pictures of it. I've cropped it and I've put it in these slides. You might find them if at all you have done expressive arts orientation with me. It's a But I have not explained the full details. This 30-year-old female who comes from a abusive family with abusive family members. It's a self-expression of her anger, whatever she's put. In the first diagram, she calls it as flames, fire coming out. The second image is a volcano erupting and smoke coming out and lava oozing out. So, we are using visual arts here to ask the person how they feel. How do you feel about the situation? What do you think? What are your feelings towards a particular person? So, or your own scenario in life, whatever. What is your current state of mind? Some questions. Can you please represent it pictorially? Is something that I can ask, and the person comes up with an image, and then I would not tell her what it is, but that the client would explain to me about what it is because I asked for. So if I feel this looks like a little different, for me, this feels like this way. Is it like that? Can you please elaborate more? Can you explain this to me? What does this indicate? Such questions I can ask where we are encouraging the person to indulge in creative talk where they talk more about that particular scenario situation. We can even ask questions like, have you seen people go through this kind of situations in their life? What is relatable to you? Such questions we can ask them. So in for her mostly I had used music modality. As the person is drawing, we use this integrated approach of using some mild melody again, depending upon how the session is going and the kind of mood the client is in. I take a client centered approach where I facilitate expression of sadness, whatever. In this particular image, it is sadness, frustration, and anger. These words are said, uttered by the client, the theme or heading of what they have drawn. So you can see in the first picture that this person feels like hanging herself, which is she in her house. So after a point when we feel really that this person can have suicidal thoughts, it's okay to give referral to a psychiatrist also along with therapy to prevent any form of self harm. Secondly, as I told you in the history, she was going through sleeplessness. You can look at her eyes and the tears flowing out, and it converting itself in the form of a sea. And you can see the climate, how harsh it is, thunder, lightning, and that ice communicates a lot of emotions. Very powerful image it is. So this is again my client's inner frustration. she's written this statement of why no one wants me, and in that she had mentioned some names which I just cut off. I cut off the names, and every for every letter she is given a representation of what that letter is. Along by connecting that letter, she had created something like fire, a dustbin, again hanging, sliding down, fall off, and kind of monster image, and a person upside down, heart bleeding, such things we can see. And yeah, and you can see no greens in the second figure when it comes to the mountains full of no brown, and maybe it's an like the client could have felt dryness, no fertility, and kind of no representation of how that client felt at that particular situation. So the person here says, leave me out, I want to live my life. Maybe this is a message which the person wanted to give to her parents. In this scenario, we've named the person Ria. So these are messages given by Ria and what she really feels. So we're using phrases to express how an individual can feel. So, in the first diagram, I had given her the scribble art activity. Second one was a collage activity. First, it was like the scribble art technique, what she could see and figure out in the picture of the scribbling which Ria has done. She had written fish, igloo, flower, monster. Second collage is um, out of her own artwork, she had taken some pictures and aligned them based on the colors she used, and she came out with a diagram EAT, where it is E stands for expressive arts therapy, because she knows that this work went on for a year. For a year I had to do intense work with her, and thereby we had this kind of good professional connect and professional relationship, where she could shed her shyness and she could express what exactly she felt. And out of all that she went through, she's indicating that she's in the process of healing through EAT. So writing therapy is sometimes when you're too angry, it's very like you can't talk against people, you can't share it outside, but it's hurting deeply inside. In those kind of situations and scenarios, it's okay to like put what you want to in words. And I had purposefully cut off names mentioned in this particular text. And here is a conversation happening between. I encouraged my client to make a conversation between the adult in her. All of like anyone above the age of 18 is called as an adult. So as an adult, I take some responsibility for myself. I might have challenges, I might have difficulties, but it's very important for me to be the kind of known adult who's aware of what is happening around me, what I must do next. Adult versus that fearful child. Sometimes that unhealed child within us keeps popping up. So it's very important for the adult in us to give assurance to the child that, I will take responsibility, I will take charge. These are my resources, these are my abilities, my capacities, I will do the needful. You don't have to get scared, I'm there for you, is the message that I give to my own self. So this is an indication of a person expressing that the person was trapped. I want to taste my life, but I'm unable to, is what she's expressed. Don't jail me, leave me, is something that she's saying, because I feel that during that period, the conflict between her husband and her, the husband doesn't say no to her, the husband doesn't say that I won't live with you, but still he will not take any efforts. So the parents felt that you one time you left the home and you went away and you suffered, so no more, you should not go there, you be at home only, we will take care of the children. Where she's not feeling comfortable in that environment where she grew up, maybe for basic needs she's getting something, but over the long run that cannot be her, that cannot be a permanent solution for her, is what she felt. And she felt that the parents are jailing her by not letting her out, because she as an educated person should somewhere mm, find the foundation to the next step. So this was some arts along with visualization and a little bit of music. The first one you can see some flames, and then the flames are that inner frustration whatever Ria expressed. And here Ria is in the process of pouring water through four channels to that flames, and they're all like the running out as water. And at one point of time, depending on force, you can look at the force which is using, and she's written my anxiety as a title. You can see the force of water, and it's obvious that the flames will have to subside at one point of time, and that is one thing. And you can see that restless eyes. Initially I'm seeing that change from that crying eyes to this restless eyes. That crying eyes had a very bad weather condition, but at this eyes, red eyes still because sleepless, and maybe it cried a lot, but it is searching and looking for something else. It is searching for greenery, a pleasant climate, and a home. This is the explanation of this house. This woman, Ria, is looking for a home for herself and her kids, and in a peaceful place. So this is a representation of her anxiety. In the first picture, you can see house on top of water, which is a clear indication of insecurities of the individual. It's not possible to construct a house on top of water, and that to the kind of house that this individual has made. And you can see the fencing, which is an indication of the fear that the individual has, that somebody is going to come and try to attack me, and that too it is night time. And you can also see the path there, and how she's trying to safeguard with the door, windows, everything closed, and there is no light at all around. You could see the dominance of brown, which she felt is she doesn't like brown. As I tell you, it depends from person to person. For Ria, for her, brown indicates something negative, or no fertility, it's all dry, that kind of a mindset she had. So that is the kind of background shades she generally has. Even in the second diagram in this picture, there were different layers of insecure feelings, stemming from the core to the outer layer, which has some rocks and again brown around. Generally, for an expressive art session, for them to come up with their thoughts and put that on work, we mm, have it just maximum for an hour. Otherwise, it will be draining for the client as well as for the therapist. So I think 1 hour is a reasonable time to have a session because it's very difficult to finish within 40 minutes. So, what does she want in life? Coming to her goal, we do some activities like 6PSM, the 6P story making, and ask the client to say a story about how they want to create their life. So, it's Ria there. Ria is standing in a fertile ground and with two kids, and you can see a small boat to cross a river, and you can see the picture, no, the sunrise first time in her diagram. In the picture she already has a house, only that she has to fetch food for herself and her kids, and she has a mode also to go and fetch the fish from the other side. And from the other side on the net there is fish, she has to go get it and then cook and eat and run her family. And that one house separately, that is where her husband lives, according to her. The husband is there, but he's not opening the door to access that fish and bring it to them and give, because he doesn't have a boat, or he's sleeping inside. That's what he does most of the time. He'll abuse alcohol excessively at night and thereby doesn't wake up in the morning. His wake up time is in the afternoon. So one way she was also waiting for that man to like open the door and come out and come for her, make some efforts for her, which was not happening. In the second image, we can see that she's again waiting for a boat to cross the path and go to the other side, and we can see greeneries around, and we can see that she's sitting and also stretching her hands out. She can row for herself, so she's stretching her hands out for that boat to move to the other side. So some questions that I could ask is, what does that boat mean to you? What do you really want? What in your life, when you're applying it to you, for whatever educational background you have, for whatever qualification, your job experience, whatever, no, what is that boat? What is that row in hand that you have? So again here, we I was just encouraging her to induce some peace in her so that she can feel better, to ease her some activities which she could do, creating something like a natural scenario, scenery, whatever she liked. So most of her thoughts were about creating a house. So I think there's a lot of difference between that previous house over this 1 year period towards maybe 8 months later. You can look at the picture of the house that she's drawn, the difference that we can see. It's a colorful house, there's a path, there are greeneries, and there is a moon, I suppose. And you can see that the house is colorful, a big house, and it is grounded, and you can see roots, mud, forest, tendency to feel more grounded and stable in life, and movement, and some pleasant feelings. some oxygen for breathing, and we can see a lot of moons. Maybe she's trying to calm herself, and if she's a um, more night oriented person, then I think no, all full moons we can see here, no. So maybe that is what indicates peace according to her. An expression of happiness and joy. So she was interested in community living. So you can see, that igloo in the scribble art also she brought those thoughts of igloo. Igloo is an indication to her, to Ria is it's a place where they live. She wanted a home. She wanted a home for herself, for her kids. And you can see people, kids, men, women doing different roles, and maybe it's hunting and then cooking and preserving food in the jar. Basic needs and livelihood. So the person who is cooking is herself, and in the right corner inside the igloo there are two kids. If you see, she has a jar to preserve food for her kids, and that is the home that she's created for them. So they're just waiting for their mother to come, and at the same time they have supportive neighbors is a kind of story. She spoke about this. And when it comes to joy, she's brought lot of colors in the diagram which is drawn, a basket kind of thing. So moving towards closure, client's decision to build an empire for self and live peacefully. So she constructs her own life, her family, a home for herself and her kids. So what Ria did was, one thing that she realized while doing these body movement therapy and no, the dance movements and other things, she realized one fact that I used to give her the statement that when she says that I want to move out, but I'm not unable to, I want to find a job for myself, but I'm not able to because I'm getting opportunities either outside the state or outside the country. She used to tell me this. So I used to tell her, so you're not a tree. You're not a tree that it's difficult to to just pick up a grown up tree from the roots and plant it in a different totally different place. We are humans with two legs who can move. So that way, when we decide that I want to move out of this place and I want to go to a different place, it's my choice. And if I have made a decision, I still take responsibility for it. So Ria took that decision of her marriage. She takes responsibility for it. People around her can support her, but they cannot live her life. They cannot keep providing her throughout, because that is again, it comes under the sympathy category. So people can show empathy on the other person, but still, as an adult, she will take responsibility for her life. So she finally finds a job. So after all this processing, which she went through this 1 year of whatever her home situations were, whatever her husband was. So towards the therapy closure, she comes with this phrase that there is love and life everywhere. Taste life. Life is fruitful. And you can see the the kind of colors that she's including, um, no, there was a palm activity. You just trace your palm and then you come out of an artwork from it. So that is what we used towards the closure. So what happened was, she waited for her husband. He didn't turn back. He didn't. He was only asking favors, but he didn't take responsibility as a husband. He did not take responsibility as a father as well. But she was unwilling to give a divorce, or that was not the point for her to divorce. So she just felt that because he is, though he's not helping, he's not also causing nuisance or trouble or initiating anything, so let me take responsibility for myself and my kids. And she moved out by finding a good job, and her package was so that she could sufficiently provide for herself and for her kids. And she didn't have to depend on her parents, because that was another suffocating environment in which she had toiled and moiled for years from her childhood. So she took responsibility, she took charge of her life. So that way this therapy closure was ended in a very beautiful way. And there was a drastic change in her confidence level, the self dignity, and the kind of self respect and admiration she started getting for herself, and the responsibility she took as a mother. She took responsibility for her decisions. And in future, this was, as I mentioned, this was a case which I handled 7 years back. So right now we don't know, like, what she's doing, whether she's given divorce, or he husband reformed or got treated and came back because he was addicted to alcohol, or she just continued her life that way. The children could also be grown up now. Maybe she there is a possibility that if she's given up on her husband, she could have had a better partner. She had the space to choose, because I think financial independence was very important for her at that point of time. And also that to maintain sustain that dignity, to have a designation is very important, that I'm so and so, that identity. No, that I am so and so, and this is my role. For example, I'm a resource executive, or I'm a manager at so and so, is the identity I feel, rather than saying that I'm daughter of so and so, son of so and so, or wife of so and so. So that way she regained her identity, and for whatever the family contributed, she can still be grateful for them, towards them. At least they did that basic requirements when she suffered. And that way, that also promotes self healing. And this was a very beautiful ending, and I was very happy for my client. And after a period, like, she shifted that offline sessions we did not continue. Once in a while, I was in connect with her for 1 or 2 months. Later on, she carried with her life, and hope she's living a happy life. And that is what I always wished for my client. So this is where we end today. Similarly, there are various techniques which can be taken over, and I'm not going in depth into other concepts today, because the case presentation itself is something very heavy for us to process. So I would like to hear from some of you about what was some new takeaway or some understanding that you got as upcoming professionals from whatever I presented. I want you to feel free, and anyone can speak. Sapilasha ma'am? Yes, Ilakya.
Madam, how long
Anyone can.
did you take this therapy? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. I
How
can hear
long
you.
did you take this therapy?
Myself, ma'am.
I said, how long did you take this client for therapy?
1 year. Yes, Ilakya, you wanted to speak? Are you speaking to me, Ilakya? You're not audible. Anyone else can go?
Great, ma'am.
Yes.
In this case வந்து கிளைண்ட்டோட எல்லா எமோஷனல்ஸையும் அண்டர்லைன் பண்ணியிருக்கு. இன்னொன்னு அவங்க அந்த எமோஷனல் ஸ்டக்கு அவங்களுக்கு உள்ள எவ்வளோ டிசப்பாயின்ட்மெண்ட், இன்செக்யூர் ஃபீலிங்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி அவங்களுக்கு என்ன லாங்கிங் அவங்களுக்கு என்ன இருக்குன்றத வந்து இந்த ஆர்ட் தெரப்பில ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்லைட்லயும் எனக்கு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ண முடிஞ்சுச்சு. அவங்க எப்படி ஓவர் கம் பண்ணி வந்தாங்கன்ற விஷயத்த ரொம்ப ஈஸியா நீங்க வந்து கேர் அவுட் பண்ணி கொண்டு வந்துட்டீங்க. பட்
Yeah.
ஆனா இதுல காமிச்சது ஷார்ட் பீரியடா இருந்தாலும் பட் அந்த 1 இயர் வந்து கிளைண்டோட கோஆபரேஷன் இருந்ததாமா.
Sorry, client order?
செஷன்ல வந்து கிளைண்ட் வந்து செஷன்ல கண்டினியூஸா அவங்க கேரி அவுட் பண்ணாங்களாமா.
That is one thing, no. If she really wanted to come out from what she was going through, and she understood that it is important to take it up. That is one highlight which Ilakya rightly said, to come regularly for therapy. Yes, Chetana, you want to share?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for the useful topic and session. I have a doubt. I missed, I think, 5 or 10 minutes. So I don't know if you'd address this. Did you also use any other therapy along with this art therapy, like client centered or any other therapy, ma'am?
Generally, like, expressive arts is one of the tool, because like
Okay.
we are trained in, like when we do our MSc, MPhil, and higher studies, that we get
Yes.
exposed to many other therapies like CBT, BMT,
Yes.
TEA. So,
Yes, ma'am.
as I told you, client centered approach is like, based on the client's need, we choose what is the most suitable for them. So that way,
Okay.
because I'm someone who's like done my expertise, I mean, over the years in expressive arts therapy, I tend to
Yes.
use more of it in my work. But again, it comes as a integrated therapy, as you told me. I integrate my other techniques as well, and that comes by practice, I feel, not in the very beginning, because even when you start using expressive arts after doing the course, I was on supervision for 2 years under my guide. That's
Oh.
one advantage which I had.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Another thing I would like, can I connect to you for a brief period of time, ma'am? I'm doing a mental health workshop. So I just wanted to understand if how expressive therapy can be useful. Uh, shall I message you personally, ma'am?
Sure,
And will
sure.
you reply
You can
when
WhatsApp
I?
me, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you so much. Anyone else who would like to speak?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this expressive arts therapy, and I have attended your 3 months course. So personally, I would say that it is very effective. So when initially when I contacted with you, I know what mental state I was, and after taking this over the period, I was able to understand myself in a better way. This helped really well. So even now, as a budding counselor, when somebody comes for help or assistance, uh, here and there, I'm trying to use these techniques just to make them understand better way how it helped me, and it worked out also. It was very easy. easily they were able to understand where they are and what they want. That's very nice about this, ma'am. Thank you so much for the session, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So, as like Bilasha ma'am said, initially, like how one thing that we do not forget whatever we do in terms of our techniques and the modalities. One thing is because in the processes that we apply it on ourselves and then we learn it. So when we apply it on ourselves, we know how it feels. And the program was made, though it was in 2014 where like I took this up. I finished the course in 2014. So one thing they made sure is that we had to take personal therapy, because when we are doing this, many of our personal things, our past baggages might get triggered. So when we have to do anything successfully, that was made mandatory by our course coordinator, and that way I think it's helpful. And we try to explore our own selves, and we learn how to use it for others, and what it would mean for the other person when they're taking this up is some new takeaway which I had when I did this, and throughout when I'm working on these kind of therapies as a trainer and a therapist. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much for your participation today. And anything you have queries in person, you can contact me. Thank you so much. Thank you for your participation.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Swarima. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.